fake winners. We really wealthy over here, them niggas fake living.
Alright, I want to be fair as I can with Andre 3000. I don't want to come from a point. This debate has been going on for a couple of days. So I don't want to come from a point of frustration with Andre 3000 and this whole debate against Fabulous, because I'm a real journalist. You know, I'm an actual journalist. So I got to keep it objective. And so I'ma just this whole argument is an argument that I feel like only artists can really understand. The world don't really get the point that people are making for Fabulous versus Andre 3000, because they are just consumers. Consumers don't play within the rules of artists. It's like how comedians feel like if you don't write your material, that you can't be considered one of the greats. And somebody like Kevin Hart, who they know don't really write his stand-ups, that's why they don't respect him. Besides the fact that they don't think he's genuinely funny, they don't respect him because he don't. But that's an inside thing. That's a comedy thing. We, as the consumers, I'm not a comedian. So when I see Kevin Hart, it's like, if it's funny, it's funny. But as an artist or as a real fan, real fan of artists, you could understand this debate point from a different perspective. When you don't have any solo works to speak of, it's hard. We gotta adjust. We gotta grade you on a scale. We gotta adjust the way that we're grading you, and it's not fair to people like Fabulous, who has 8 albums and 17 mixtapes. It's not. Fabulous is not even a feature heavy artist, and he does 3 verses a lot. So we talking about a person who at one time was the feature guy. So he has 1 million features. He has a bunch of albums with no features really, and a bunch of mixtapes with no features really. We're talking about hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of verses. That level of demand and output is what's so impressive about somebody like Lil Wayne. It's not that Lil Wayne, it's not just that Lil Wayne is wowing us when he's rapping these verses, it's that he has 1 million of them. That's why he's the cheat code. Because it's like, how can you be this good and this consistent for this long? This is why it's this impressive. And I would never argue whether Wayne was a better rapper than Andre 3000. That's just not an argument I'm trying to have at all. I know Wayne might even say Andre 3000, but I'm going Wayne by a mile. Me personally. It's just an output thing. And then it's a rite of passage to have a solo album. In 1996, I had been listening to Busta Rhymes for years at that point. Busta Rhymes didn't have a solo album until maybe 6-7 years after we actually heard the nigga. Right? But we couldn't put him in certain conversations, though. Every time we saw Busta Rhymes, whether it was Flavor in Your Air remix, Scenario, the Scenario remix, all these standout verses, even within the songs of the leaders of the new school, Busta Rhymes always had a standout verse, even though Charlie and Danko was like standout too. But Busta stood out in his own way, where you thought in your mind that he could be a solo star. But it wasn't until 1996, I believe June 1996, possibly June. Busta Rhymes, no, I think it was later in the year. Busta Rhymes drops The Comin', his debut album. And it was only at that point could we say, okay, Busta is that nigga. For those of y'all who not artists, y'all don't understand the pressure of holding an entire song down for 3 to 5 minutes with only your voice. Everybody don't stand up to that test. You take a group like the Migos, for instance. Everybody thought that because they great within the group and bouncing off of each other, and Quavo is great, and Offset is great, and Takeoff is great, that would translate somehow into great solo material. And they all put out solo albums, and we forgot about them as soon as they came out. Sway Lee from Ray Shrimmer, the same exact thing. Oh yeah, he can go. And then you find out, oh no, he really can't hold it down. You take a group like the Lox. What makes the Lox the great niggas they are, or Wu-Tang, or niggas like that, is because when they go do their solo projects, they flourish more than even inside the group. And then when they come back with the group, it make the group that much greater. That's how they became the hip hop Avengers. If you never attempted to write an album where you would have 30 to 40 to 50 verses on this album and coming at it many different ways so that the listener is not getting bored, or having to contort and your voice like Kendrick Lamar and Eminem so that the listener the ear don't get bored, or having to go into production and do certain things and switch the beats around like Rick Ross so the listener ear don't get bored. Everybody's not an album artist. And if you haven't proven yourself to be an album artist, you can't go in it with Ice Cube and Scarface. It's not fair to people like Ice Cube and Scarface to be compared to Andre 3000 when they did it inside the groups and they did it better away from the groups because they was true solo artists. To go into Outkast specifically, Outkast was Big Boy's group in the beginning. The whole beginning. Who do you think came up with Southern Playalistic? Let's think. Is that Big Boy or is that Andre 3000? If I had to choose one, I would guess it was Big Boy. So this dude, Andre 3000, basically gets to come in, lay a verse on a flavor that's not really his. Outkast blow through the water, and then he get all the credit. And then he started to become this eclectic guy who had these outlandish appearance and over the top charisma. And then we start to forget about Big Boy and his contributions to the group. And we start giving the credit to Outkast, to Andre 3000. This is not the first time this has happened. People give the credit to Mobb Deep, to Prodigy, which is totally ridiculous because Prodigy ain't shit without them Havoc beats. So that's not even an argument I'm willing to have, right? But they give Andre 3000 the same type of credit with Outkast, and it's not fair to Big Boy, and it's not fair for people who had that rites of passage to have a solo album. I remember when Freeway, the people was asking for a Freeway album. And then the knock on the Freeway album, it wasn't really the beats, it wasn't the rhymes or what. They said, damn, I can't listen to Freeway's voice for 16 songs. You see what I'm saying? There's a rites of passage that you go through when you make your solo album, because it's you in isolation. And we get to figure out who you really are. You got to find something to rap about. I don't know if this dude has anything to rap about if we're not doing Miss Jackson with Big Boy. So Fresh, So Clean with Big Boy. Bombs over Baghdad. Like, I don't know that he has an angle to come from on a personal level. Remember, that's also a big part of making a solo album. When you look at Raekwon branching away from Wu-Tang, one of the things he said was, I knew that I had to create an identity. So I went with the mafioso rap style and really just copied the mob and they blueprint and put it on wax. Because he needed to do that. That's a thing you can only come up with. Kanye had to sit in his house and say, damn, what am I? All right, I'm not a gangster. I'm not a hustler. I don't even get the ladies. What am I? Oh, I dropped out of college. I'm a statistic. I'm supposed to be a failure. So this is the angle I'm going to come from when I come with the album. Jay-Z had to sit down and say, what am I? Wow, okay. I'm the streets. I'm the voice of the rational, logical hustler, the strategist. I'm the hustler strategist. That's me. That's part of your rites of passage as a solo album. It's not just even the album. It's self-identification. It's personal work that you have to go through to even come up with a solo album. Like, you have to dig within yourself and pull out what's unique about you and rap about that for 16 songs. Rap from that perspective for 16 songs. And then you have to come with great verses consistently. Those brothers from Kofi's Universe said that Andre 3000 had 14 verses on one of Outkast's album. 14 verses. 14 verses for me is 4 songs. That's a 4-song EP. And so it's just not as impressive when you have an EP worth of verses and then some of what of a hand in the songwriting, and then you get the credit for the group, for the entire album. Like, you're the genius that put all this together. You're really just writing 14 features. You have 14 features. That's it. Big Boy raps more than Andre 3000 on their albums. So I'm trying to, like, how is he the guy? We know that Q-Tip was the guy in Tribe Called Quest because he was the musical component. He made the beats. You know what I'm saying? And he led the songs. And there was time when Phife is just really not even on a song. Or you have a song like Butter where Phife is, like, you know, got a solo song, but that's rare. Q-Tip was the feature rapper. Groups were structured different back then. Your group could have a feature rapper, you know, like Tretch, and then like a feature rapper like Vinny. You get what I'm saying? Like, you could do it like that. And for those who don't know, Tretch and Vinny is from I was about to say a Tribe Called Quest. Tretch and Vinny is from Naughty by Nature. And yeah, so groups were structured different back then. But when it's supposed to be an equally yoked thing, we got to give credit to both MCs, right? So, like I said, the brothers from Kofi's Universe, they said that Andre 3000 has basically 1/3. If you take away the Love Below, which is not a rap album, he has 1/3 the output of Biggie Smalls, who was only in the game from 93 to 97. What are we talking about? How does Biggie have way more verses than Andre 3000? We gotta look at this thing on a scale. Now, I'm just talking about Andre. I'm not talking about Fabulous. To go into Fab real quick, Fab is, first of all, let's talk about a few things that Fabulous can do that Andre 3000, I'm not going to say he can't do, but he doesn't do. And he wouldn't do. In my opinion, he couldn't do. Fabulous came up in a mixtape era where you had to be vicious and ferocious. And he rose to the top of that pile. The mixtape legends from that era, from since Fab came in, from like 97, Fabulous, The Locks, those is the top two rappers from that whole era, from the whole mixtape era. You got sprinkles of, Nori was the man at the time. There's a few dudes, you know what I mean? X was the man on the mixtapes for sure. But I'm saying like the staples that stayed in it and stayed consistent and was like number 1 to 3 on every single Clue tape. You go get a Cutmaster C, you go get a K Slay. K Slay ain't really fuck with Fab, but you're going to see Fabulous and Jadakiss and or the Locks every single time. Every single time. And so they had to prove themselves on a circuit, on the East Coast circuit with mixtapes with monsters. I don't think you understand what kind of monsters was around at this time. I'm telling you, Fabulous was the biggest thing on mixtapes when Big Pun was out. Let's put this into context. DMX was out. Pun was out. Cannabis was out. Everybody was out. Everybody was out. And Fab was the mainstay. Fab would start off the tapes. Andre 3000 never proved himself on that type of level. We don't know that we can put Andre 3000 in the mixtape era and he have songs that people like, or he spit in a way where niggas like, yo, he bodied that verse. We don't know that. I don't know that he's capable of that. Fabulous also has chambers that he can go into that not many rappers can go into because he's a full package rapper. Let's not forget who Fabulous is. Fabulous is the first punchline rapper to actually go mainstream. Yeah, we forgot. Lord Finesse and Big L, they didn't make it to that level. Fab was one of the only rappers besides L, Cool J, and Drake who could have the radio, the streets, and the ladies at the same exact time. And I feel like Fab did it even better than LL and Drake. Fab could be on the radio, he could be killing a mixtape, or he could fucking talk to the ladies. Like, there's not that many rappers as versatile as Fabulous. You could put him in any situation. You could put him on any beat. He raps on any type of beat. Give him a bouncy beat. You give him a down south beat. You give him a hard East Coast beat. There's nothing that he doesn't rap on. Andre 3000 doesn't have a range of production like that. Andre 3000 got, Outkast has a sound. Fab don't really have a sound. He could rap on anything, embody it. Fab has been to, I don't remember seeing Outkast on Rap City, bro. I don't know that Andre 3000 can hold it down in a cypher. Let's put Andre 3000 in that cypher, that famous cypher on YouTube with Big Pun, Cannabis, DMX, John Forte, Mos Def. You think he would have bodied them or stood out in a way where it's like, oh, he's levels above them? I don't think so. I don't think he's that type of rapper. Return of the G is the only time I've even seen him rap in a aggressive type manner. Fabulous is a street nigga that had the streets. That's rare. It's only a few rappers that had the streets. We believe Fabulous on the East Coast. It's more than rap. He has the X factor. We love Fab and we believe Fab. You can't even buy that. So it's a lot of Andre 3000 don't have a Make Me Better. He don't have a Make Me Better. He don't have Can't Deny It. He don't have Baby or So Into You. He don't have the verses that bodied the whole mixtape. Nobody couldn't even come behind this nigga Fab. He didn't rap with Ransom. Consistently rapping with Ransom and got to come up, and Joe Button, and got to come up with the best verse. Right? And don't sleep on Hitchcock either. He got to rap with Ransom and Hitchcock all the damn time, and Joe Budden. You get what I'm saying? He got to go rap with Cassidy and Lil Wayne. He got to go rap with, you get what I'm saying? He got to go rap next to Giants. He got to go do a whole tape with Jadakiss. It's not fair to put Fabulous, a proven MC, in so many different ways, next to a guy who stayed in his bubble, made a few group albums that are, they highly revered and shit like that, but never did it to that level and don't have the versatility that this man have. It's a lot of things that, and contrary to popular belief, I do think that Fabulous could do what Andre 3000 do. I think Fabulous is a rapper who took the path that he took, but I think in glimpses, he shows that he's even more than that. It's just sometimes you got to stay in your pocket. Fab is not going to jump out of, Fab is too smart to jump out of his pocket. But he has more pockets than Andre 3000. You get what I'm saying? So that's leading me to believe maybe Fabulous can do what Andre 3000 can do, and Andre 3000 can't do what Fabulous can do. I agree that Andre 3000 is a once in a lifetime MC. I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with the fact that he is a legend. I just can't give him the nod over a person like Fabulous, who is one of the most consistent rappers ever, who's had one of the longest rap careers in ever, if we talking about being relevant, who can drop a song today and people who are 18 to people who are 48 will pay attention to it. I can't personally do that. Is too long of a career, too consistent, too much relevance, too much. He's the prototype for the mixtape rapper coming into mainstream, especially the punchline rapper. He made a way for people like Cassidy and Lloyd Banks. He's the prototype for that rapper. People think that he came behind Mace. Mace is not a punchline rapper. That was Big L. That was Mace Man. Fab is more along the lines of Big L. Mace was just a dope rapper, but he wasn't like a punchline rapper. So Fabulous is a prototype for a whole type of rapper. The rapper who is punchline based, who achieved mainstream success and talk to the ladies like Cassidy and Lloyd Banks, they owe that whole shit to Fabulous. It was Fabulous bust the door open for that shit. You get what I'm saying? Let's not downplay how important Fabulous is, or how versatile he is, or how dangerous he is. I don't know if Andre 3000 can stand in the ring with Fab. I don't know that if the battle jumps off, that Fabulous don't tear Andre 3000 ass up. I don't know that. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen Andre 3000 prove himself to be that type of MC. Fab was made for that type of shit. So, yeah, that's just a few of the points. I got so many points that I just got to stop. But to sum it up, let's not disrespect Fab. And let's keep giving Andre 3000 the respect that he deserved. Legend as part of a group. Fabulous is a East Coast Don. He's only second to Jay-Z on the East Coast. That's why I know this whole debate is really an East Coast down South thing. Because down South don't understand who Fab is on the East Coast. They have no clue. If you don't live in New Jersey, Connecticut, Philly, New York, you don't know Fab's dominance for real. And them niggas up top, we don't listen to Andre 3000. Nobody ever in life said play that Outkast up top. Now we like them niggas and we accept them and we love Andre 3000. We know he can rap. But on a regular day, a fucking Wednesday, we're playing Fabulous. We're not playing Outkast. It's not happening. You know what I'm saying? So, legend in his own right, broke down the doors for the South in so many different ways. You know what I mean? I would say him and Scarface is in a league of their own when it comes to Southern pioneers. But I can't just say Andre 3000. I got to say Outkast and Scarface. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's about it, man. I'm not going to really drag it out. That's my spill. If I got to go in, I'll do a part 2 because I have so many other points to make. But this has been 25 minutes. It's my longest video or audio ever. So, love to y'all. Go visit Gioli.com for all the greatest hip hop. We ain't doing the latest hip hop because we're not keeping up with all this bullshit. But we'll do the greatest hip hop. Gioli.com, man. I'll see y'all next time.
Everybody got paper, but where your discipline? Everybody so loud, but what your mission is? You catching what you getting according to what you fishing with.